going to come onto our backs, everyone. Let the arm bones fall into the earth, coming into 90 degrees. And we're going to walk the feet in today. Draw your knees into your chest. And let's take a supine twist to the left side. So, stacking the knees. You can peek over, make sure that your knees are aligned, that the top leg is definitely on top. And then use your left hand to gently close the right thigh together. If it feels comfortable for you, you can always turn your head to the right side. Many times we feel, or we can feel like we're not doing much. But again, as we adapt to the seasonal changes, the environment within our bodies, the external environment, a lot of these postures that we make, the shapes that we make, sometimes require a little bit more time before the ligaments and the fascia start to elongate. So see if you can pause here and engaging the ujjayi breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nostrils. Let your body massage anywhere that's feeling like it's rigid, tight, or compressed on the right side. Beautiful way to create spaciousness in the shoulder girdle and in the underneath behind the right side scapula is to slowly inch your fingers away from your spine. So that means that energetically the right side keeps reaching towards the right, and the top of the right knee keeps moving towards the left. Take one more smooth breath here. Let's draw that right hand into the right side shoulder. Roll over completely to the left side. That just protects the integrity of the spine. And let's come back onto our spine. Gather your knees. And we'll scoot the bum over to the opposite side. Stack your knees as you draw the knees to the right side. You can use your top hand, right hand to close the top leg. And then, as best as you can for your body, wherever you are, open up that left side shoulder first. Just seeing where your shoulder girdle is, scanning the front part of your pectorals, just making conscious effort here. One side of the body is always more open, always more user friendly. So see if you can direct your breath as you inch your left fingers away from the spine. You keep your left knee moving towards the right side. Just feeling this opposition. Take a smooth breath to inhale here. Draw your left shoulder in, left hand to the left shoulder, left elbow up to the ceiling. Tuck yourself into the right side. Gather your knees and then roll back onto your back. And let's bring your feet now as wide as your mat. We're going to take a little windshield wiper of the legs, but to get really deep into the hips, drop your knees over to the right side, leave them where they are. And if you can, you're going to hook your right foot to the outer part of your left thigh, levering the inner thigh in. You might feel this very deeply on the lower back. Might feel it in the front of the hips, like the psoas. We'll uncross the right leg. Let your feet come back to the earth. Move slowly here as your sacrum aligns, and then take the knees over to the left. So, little windshield wiper. Pause. And then maybe you'll hook that left foot to the outer part of your right thigh, lever the right inner thigh down towards the ground. And the body has natural boundaries. And so you might be feeling a hard stop in some places. I encourage you not to push past your edge, but just to let the muscularity, let the breath do what it can to help facilitate. And then uncross your left leg, place your feet back down to the earth. Find your strap and let's draw that right knee in. Just getting into the belly of the hamstrings. Loop the strap around the ball of your right foot. Let the arm bones fall into the earth. And then with resistance, press the ball mound of your right foot into your strap. We're going to pause here. It's been a pretty cold week, and I'm sure you might be feeling some stagnation and some blockage that might be tightening up in the backs of the hamstrings. So let's keep the left sole of the foot on the ground for now and just really focus on the belly of that right side hamstring. We'll get into the belly of the knee and the belly of your calf by peeling the toes back. That means activate the toes back towards your face. Press the ball of the foot into the strap. Sometimes when our muscles are very tight and rigid, it can feel as if they're moving only a fraction of an inch. And that's okay. We don't have to see it to feel it. Once you start to feel like there's minimal incremental movement happening and you can feel a very slight opening in the back of the knee and the hamstring, you might start to elongate that left foot in front of you. Again, it's just an option, not something that we're aiming towards. If you haven't done this stretch in a while, we're going to stay here a little bit longer. Just really getting into the activity of the dense muscle groups that tend to become very rigid in the winter. Let's take both ends of the strap now over into the right hand. You'll open up your right thigh just about 10%. Just notice where you might be feeling that sensation. Might feel it on the outer part of your right leg, might feel it on the inner groin. And just do your best not to fidget here, not to overcompensate, but just to gently hold the strap as best as you can. And then let the workings of the hip joint, the ligaments, the tendons surrounding that area of the body, let that navigate. We're going to take both ends of the strap now into the left hand. We're going to cross your left leg completely over to the left side. So this helps to that if you have a prop, a bolster, something that you'd like to place underneath your leg, slide my bolster up. You can always place a block or a pillow, something close by. And I want you to keep working that bottom leg so that left leg is working back. You might feel this very deeply on the outer part of your right hip, your right glute. That's exactly what we want. Just breathing into the space. that you're opening up here. The winter is the season where the ground is oftentimes frozen solid, right? It can be very difficult to penetrate the earth. And it's the same thing we can feel in the muscularity of our bodies. It can feel very dense at times when we're taking the same stretches, the same asanas, the same postures that maybe we do in warmer months. And our bodies can feel very dense in those locations. So just honor where your body is. Notice if it's feeling like it's a heavy piece of solid earth, right? Even though it might be a warmer temperature today, the body is still going on the temperature that it's received from earlier this week. And same thing, just because the temperature warms up, it doesn't mean that the earth itself has thawed out. Slowly draw that leg, right leg comes back to center. We're going to crisscross, so knee to knee here. And we'll do this in a seated pose, but let's take it on our backs first. So bull seat on your back, cut knee to knee, pull your heels away from your body. So getting into the hips, press your thighs into your belly, and then press your backbones into the earth. So stoking the fire here. Find that place where you can get a full, complete breath. And then we're going to exhale, release the legs, release the arms. Let's take bridge pose as a recovery. So press your feet down, triceps press down to the earth, fingertips reach up, lift your hips up and back. You might slide your hands underneath, clasp the palms if that feels good for you. Take the hips a little higher. And just notice how your lower back might be feeling here, how your buttocks. Notice if you're rolling to the outer edge of your toes and see if you can press down on the big toe mound, the second toe, and the third toe. And then release your hands if they're clasped. Lift your heels, roll down one vertebrae at a time. Let's do this on the left side. Left knee comes in. Loop the strap around the ball of your left foot. Hold on to the strap and keep your right foot on the ground as you extend that left heel up to the ceiling. And then peel the toes back. Softening here anywhere that's giving you some feedback. Where's the feedback here? Is it the back of the knee? Is it the calf? Is it the back of the hamstring? Where is it that feels like it needs a little bit of a release? And again, we're not going for range. We're not going for maximum range. We're going to a place where we can literally feel that hard stop in our body. That's our boundary. So that way we can let the inner workings of the thighs, the ligaments, the fascia, the tendons, all of the viscous pieces that wrap around our bones and our joints, letting them breathe. If it feels okay, you can start to elongate that right leg in front of you. Peel the toes back. If you are very vata oriented or pitta oriented in your dosha, you might feel like pausing isn't doing enough. Right? But I desperately urge you to take these moments of pause and to trust that when we are getting deep into the belly of the back of the knee, the calf, the hamstring, that we're actually doing more work than if you were to physically be standing up doing 10 sun salutations or 10 sun breaths, right? Doing this little pull back like a bow and arrow, and you pull that bow back is absolutely beneficial. So when you stand, your hamstrings are feeling spacious. And you're not grimacing your face as you fold forward. Let's take both ends of the strap now into the left hand. We'll open up that left thigh gently, again, just to a place where you're feeling sensation and you can manage the breath and manage the sensation of the inner thigh. Just notice what you might be feeling on this side, what might be opening up. One side is always a little bit more open, a little bit more user friendly. Gently guide the strap now into the right hand. Bring your bolster or your pillow, whatever it is that you have, and prop your left leg up on the right side as you take it over. And then peek down at your bottom leg, making sure that your hip bones are stacked. Direct that outer hip. So that left outer hip is moving away from your body, top of the crown moving away from your tailbone. And take a moment as you slowly release the strap, draw that left knee back to the chest. Take your time. We're going to cut the right knee behind the left. Hold onto the top of your shin bone, splay the legs apart, little supine bull seat on your back. And then pause here. Draw your knees now into your chest, release the arms, release your hands. You're going to rock and roll either forward and back and come onto table pose, or you can move over to the side, coming into fetal position, and then working your way up. I'll have you decide that on your own. Either way, we're going to eventually come to hands and knees. Make sure your blocks and your props are handy nearby. We'll take 5 cat cows. Moving to the rhythm of your breath, let your inhalation broaden across the chest and collarbone, face looks up. Let your exhalation draw your navel into the spine, resist the earth, push the ground away. If you're familiar with the Saham Kriya, you might listen for the sound Sa on the inhalation, the sound of pure intelligence moving through you. Listening for the sound Hum on the exhalation, the sound of that intelligence transforming to every cell of the body. Move like this 2 more times on your own, feeling free to breathe according to the rhythm of your breath. Don't have to move or match me. There's no pass fail. And we're going to go into an extended puppy pose today after you finish your next cat cow, no rush at all. So you can peek up at me. We'll start first either on the blocks. The blocks have 3 different heights, and you can move to your bolster. But we're going to be here for a while, and we'll eventually, depending on where you are, might come down to the earth. Now, the 2 things that tend to happen is that the rib cage drops out, so we want to scoop the navel in, maintain the integrity of the spine. Might need to walk your heels back a little bit, and really important to close the gap of the rib cage. This is going to give us greater range in the shoulders and targeting your triceps. We'll be here for a while. If you need a blanket underneath your knees, you can absolutely take that. So that's one option, propping up to the blocks. I'll show you quite a few because, again, we'll be here for quite a while. Shoulder girdle, much like the hip girdle, have a lot of different muscle groups and ligaments that tie in. They wrap around to the front of the body and the back plane. So there's a lot more baggage there that requires time to release. This is a second variation, lowering down. Depending on where you are and where your practice is, some of you might go into a little bit more an advanced puppy pose to throat opener. So I'll let you decide. It's the quality of your breath. Once you find a place where you can maintain the integrity without moving, but really allowing the breath to massage what's opening up. Let yourself give in to the heaviness and the weight of the body. It's hard for me to talk in this posture because I'm all the way in, so I'll just be quiet for a few more breaths. You are. You'll slowly start to push back to child's pose, no rush at all. Let your pelvis be heavy. Let your head be supported on the earth. Allow your cervical spine to align. And just give yourself a moment to let your bones readjust. We'll take a variation in this posture of threading the needle. So you don't have to move too much, or you can stay with your tailbone on your heels and then simply thread your right arm through your left arm. Keep walking your left hand in front of you, and then keep sliding your right arm through that left armpit. This helps to get very deep into the outer part of the shoulder. 3 different areas for the deltoid or shoulder and girdle, anterior, posterior, and of course the side. The deeper and fuller the breath is in each posture that we're maintaining, the more oxygen you bring to that area of the body. The more oxygen you bring, the more spaciousness is increased in the ligament, in the tissue, and in the fascia. Take your time and very slowly thread your right arm out, and you'll switch it for the left. Again, you're still in this child's pose variation, just utilizing every aspect of your practice. So many times our practice can feel very choppy, right? And that's because we haven't mastered the yoking of the in between, meaning the in between postures, the in between movements. A great way to start to, I don't want to say trick the body, but to soften the mind is to start to practice movements in the in between postures. So, child's pose is a great in between posture without having to pop up and look and distort. This is a great way of being able to utilize a recovery pose to lengthen the shoulders. So focus on that left shoulder right now, getting closer to the earth, and focus on the right fingertips moving away from you. You're going to remove that left hand, walk your hands in front of you, round through your spine. And then with resistance, come up to downward facing dog. No rush at all. Take your time. Pedal your heels out. Shake your head side to side, even up and down. Let's take our first three-legged dog of the day. Take your right leg straight up and back, all five toes like you're pushing into a wall. Step the left foot forward, help it up if you need. And let's lower that back knee down. We're gonna go into a twist right away today. So left hand on your block underneath your shoulder, take your right arm straight up, twist it behind, open up the side body. Keep drawing your right hip back, your left hip forward. Almost as if you can feel an invisible line from your midbrain through your tailbone. Keep drawing the right ribs back and bringing the left ribs forward. Smooth breath here. Let's bring the right hand to the outside of your right foot. Left hand's going to go to the outside as well. Prop it up on a block. Take a little twist here. Right hand's going to go to your sacrum now. Revolve. So keep wrapping the ribs of the right side around the left side. Getting deeper into this twist. When we take twists and binds, helps to create spaciousness in the opposite side of the body. So you might feel this very deeply on the left side of the body, left leg, left psoas, left quadricep. See if you can continuously bring that right hip back, the left hip forward, left ribs moving forward, right ribs moving back. Take one more smooth breath as you inhale here. Exhale, release. Both hands to blocks. Let's step that back foot forward. Nice flat back here. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, generous bend on your knees. Relax the back of the head. And ragdoll the body here. Hold on to the elbows, side to side, maybe even up and down. Keep that little micro bend in the knees. That helps to protect the lower back. And then let's float the arms around and up. Take a nice big stretch. Inhale, urdhva palms press. Exhale, let's go straight back down, belly to the thighs, Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine to a flat back. We'll go straight away to the opposite side. Right leg steps back. Lower the back knee down. Right knee comes down to the earth. Right hand on a block, prop straight up. So feel that lift of your pelvic floor. So we're not rushing ahead. Mula bandha lifts up. Left arm long by the ear. Reach up and back. Take the twist behind. And pause here. Sometimes it is more challenging to work correctly, to breathe into these moments that are happening, to create the spaciousness. That's what we're after today, just creating more space in the body. Keep drawing your right side, right ribs, right hip forward, and wrapping the left arm, left shoulder, left rib cage behind you. It's actually much harder than it seems. One more smooth breath. Training the muscles and the mind. We're going to bring the left hand to the outside of the block, right hand to the outside as well. Prop up on the block, and then bring your left hand to your sacrum. So three different heights here. Adjust for what feels right for your body. Yes, an elongation of the spine. It's almost as if you're twisting your torso, turning the right side underneath the left. And then notice how this not only affects the upper body, right? This gets very deep into the right side psoas, very deep into the right side quadricep. Keep the breath flowing here. This is your reverse bound warrior. Okay, but in order to get there, we've got to start to train the ligaments, train the muscles to open up in ways in which they probably have never opened. Take one more smooth breath. Slowly come out of this. Unwind the body. We're going to step back into puppy pose. So thread that left knee underneath you. So this is where it gets a little bit more advanced, right? So a little bit more advanced than going into our cobras. Take your variation of puppy. And again, you're going to scoop the ribs in. You can stay with the elbows on a bolster. You can prop up to the blocks. Take another smooth breath here to inhale. Keep scooping everything to the midline of the body. So I really want you to feel there's so much activation that's happening in this posture, believe it or not, especially if you're doing this correctly. Means that the right side of the body is really working towards the left. The left side is working towards the right. My shoulders are on fire right now. Right? There's so much activation of right side and left side meeting. We're going to come out of this. So move slowly here. Come out of this posture. We're going to come down to the earth. So slow chaturanga. You can keep that bend in the knees. Resist all the way down. Elbows by the rib cage. Push, 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 push the ground away. Going to focus on the legs lifting up now. We're going to take that right leg up. Just pulse it for 10, 9, 8, 7. You didn't think we were going to get away from building heat, did you? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Left leg is going to come up for 10, 9, 8. Really important to work the back muscle. 6, 5, 4. Even if we take all winter, you will feel the difference come spring. 3, 2, 1. Lower your head down. We're going to lift both legs at the same time. Slide your hands back. Salabhasana, locust pose. We're going to pulse and lift everything up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it down. Right ear to the mat, windshield wiper your hip side to side. Take a moment and pause. Switch your ears, left ear to the mat. Forehead underneath your mat. Take your time. We'll take 3-part cobra here. So lifting your heart, just the back of the neck is long. Inhale, lift. Exhale to release and lower. Lift the hands, lift the heart, back of the neck is long. Exhale, move towards the earth. Legs as wide as the mat. Lift your legs, lift your hands, slide it back. Salabhasana, flying locust. Exhale, release. Yogi's choice here, you can either take cobra with me, hands off of the mat, or slide your hands underneath your shoulders, upward facing dog. Lifting out of the lower back, peeling the skin from the belly all the way up. As you're ready, hands underneath you, press back into downward facing dog. You can move through table, you can move through plank, up through chaturanga. Take your time. As you arrive, pedal the heels out, organize your body, scoop your navel into your spine, wrap your outer upper arms by your ears. Take that left leg straight up. All five toes like you're pushing into a wall. Step your left foot forward, help it up. Pause here. Lower your back knee down. You're going to take this twist again. So right hand to the outside of your left leg on a block. Keep your right tricep close to your body. Keep drawing that right hip forward, left hand to your sacrum. Roll your shoulder on top. Maybe we pause here. Maybe we see where we can go with this. Keep your sacrum and your hand connected. Maybe you tuck the right toes and lift that back leg up. Feel your inner thighs squeezing towards one another. Once you have that, you might take that left arm straight up. Feel that long interconnected line of energy. Left hand down to the block, right hand finds your other block. Step your back foot forward, flat back. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward, generous bend on the knees. Notice how differently that felt on your body. Keep a generous bend on your knees. Backs of the knees long here. Switch the crossing of the elbows. Rock yourself side to side, up and down. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. As you do so, head arrives last. Circle the arms around and up. Inhale, 𝗔𝗿𝘁𝗀𝘀𝘀. Exhale, belly towards the earth. Head arrives last. Standing forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Ardha Uttanasana. Flat back. Exhale, your left leg way back. Step it back. Pause. Left knee comes down to the earth. Left hand to a block on the outside of the right foot. Right hand to your sacrum. Roll your right shoulder on top of your left. Keep steering the left side of your body forward, the right side back. Might be a great place to pause here, working on the rotation of the upper body. Might tuck your back toes, lift that back leg up. Once you feel steady, you might take that right arm up. Continuously getting longer in the body, spaciousness between the hips, the ribs, torso, and legs. One more smooth breath. Exhale it down, release it down. Hands off to the blocks, blocks off to the side, step back to plank, pause. Chaturanga all the way down, belly to the earth. We'll lift the left leg up 10 times, just firing up the back body, lifting it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switching sides, lifting the right leg for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slide your hands back, lifting both legs and arms, pulsing for 10 times. Salabhasana. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the hands, three-part cobra. Inhale, lift heart. Exhale, release the breath. Lift your hands, lift your heart. Back of the neck is long. Might feel very different now to breathe into cobra. Exhale. Flying locust, hands off the mat, legs off the mat. Grow the spine. All we're doing is breathing, not pulsing. Release. Hands off of the mat. Bow the chest forward. Inhale, either taking cobra or up dog, your choice. Exhale, release. Hands under shoulders, tuck toes. Press back, down dog, however you get there. Take a moment from your down dog, settle into your body. Lift your heels, walk them over to the right side, the toes face the left. So you're anchoring into the outer part of the legs. And then lift your heels up, toes to the opposite side, heels to the opposite side. Bring your heels back to center. We're going to lift the right leg up. This is a prep to go into pigeon today. So lifting that right leg straight up, stack your right hip on top of the left. Bend your right heel over to the left side. Open up the hip, and then let's thread the right knee through. If you need a prop underneath that seat, give yourself what you need. Some of you might need to prop up onto the bolster, might need to sit up. Some of you might want to fold forward. If you're sitting up in the back bend or taking the back bend variation, which always starts with a seated posture, just aligning your shoulders over your hips. Check out with if your neck is pulled back, let your head float very easily. I like to keep the blocks handy. Again, this is if you're in a seated pose or if you're working on back bends. So for back bending, usually is recommended to be able to comfortably sit. If you're working more on the glutes and opening up the hip, you can fold forward at any point. So each function of the pigeon lets us work with a different area of the body. So if you're working on back bends, you're going to want to focus on sitting up. That creates more lift in the back, creates more spaciousness in the lower lumbar, going into the back of the hamstrings. We'll be getting into more of the back bends, deeper back bends, getting into king pigeon, all of that as we start to work with opening up more of the chest, more of the hips. So finding that alignment of lift. Now, wherever you are, if you're in a folded pigeon or if you're in the back bend, I want you to feel a little lift of mula bandha. So there's this activation that's happening, a little lift of your pelvic floor. That's going to be really important because we're all going to eventually take active pigeon. We're not going to do that yet. Still have a little bit more breathing room. If you're folded forward, you're going to walk your hands over to the right side. If you are in the seated back bend, you're going to walk your hands over to the right side and see if you can do a little lift and rotate. So we've been lifting out of the left side, rotating around the right. Okay, we're seeing the same revolution of the rib cage and of the spinal alignment as we did in that rotated lunge. See if you can stay with the breath. And then slowly, wherever you are, if you're on the ground, walked over to the right side, slowly walk your hands back. If you're in a seated twist, slowly let your vertebrae stack back. Gonna feel a little lift of your pelvic floor, navel into the spine here. So we're all going to take what's called an active pigeon. I'm going to show you what that looks like. You're going to remove your seat, whatever's underneath you, tucking the back toes. Press down and feel this little lift. So active pigeon allows for you to press down in the shin bone of the front leg, and you're lifting up through your core strength, through your mula bandha. Feel the outer hips here. One more breath. And then we're going to exhale, step back to downward facing dog. You can do this through table pose. And then come back. Or you can thread your leg back for three-legged dog. I'll have you decide. From downward facing dog, let's take that left leg up, three-legged dog. Smooth breath here. Exhale, step your left leg forward. And then pause. Just giving yourself whatever setup you need. One side is always a little bit more user friendly than the other. When we're dealing with the hips and the back, we never want to force anything in the body. Less is more. The reason why we say that is because when we're dealing with the hips and the shoulders, those two areas of the body are involved with many other relationships, right? There's the front plane, the side plane, the back plane. They're involved with ligaments, with tissues, with capillaries, with bones. It's a very complex relationship. So give yourself the time for all of those conversations to happen and for you to receive the feedback. Just think about how much time it takes if you send an email to your boss and your boss has to find out from their boss and somebody else's boss, right? It takes time. It's the same thing with the body. Give yourself the time for that information to be relayed back. If you walked your hands over to one direction, you're going to walk your hands over to the left side this time. Right? So you can do this on the ground. If you're doing this in the seated posture, walk your hands to the blocks or slowly start to rotate from the right side rib cage. Just being mindful the muscles of the ligaments. We all eventually hit what's called a hard stop, a boundary in our bodies, right? So really important not to push past that boundary in your neck. If you're turning your head, in the ribs, even in the hips. As you rotate from the rib cage, you're going to feel a long line, a ligament called the psoas muscle that moves very deeply into the front of your right side thigh bone. Slowly, wherever you are, take your time as you unwind. Just respect the integrity of your body. And we're going to take this active pigeon to help build that strength, that little fire. Tuck your back toes. Feel a little lift of your pelvic floor. You're pushing down with your front shin bone. Lift the arms up. So pulling everything in, push down to rise up. You're going to squeeze everything into the midline of the body, right side to left to right, bottom to top. One more smooth breath here. And then release the hands down. Step back to down dog. However you get there. Back bends do not require any counter poses. So we're going to round through the spine, stack your shoulders, come to plank pose, and we're going to take a slow chaturanga down, still using that heat to lower all the way down for 4, 3, 2, 1. As you arrive, I want you to turn onto your back. So you're already there. Turn onto your back. 2 different ways you can let your spine receive the energy of what's just happened. Conscious rest. That means keeping your feet on the ground, elbows in soft cactus. Totally okay for you to try and see if maybe that feels good today. Or you can start to lengthen your legs. Whichever variation, if you're taking an extended shavasana, or you're keeping your feet on the ground for conscious rest, let your body, let it slowly adjust. It may not seem that what we did was very complex or involving a lot of movement, but believe me, you have moved almost every single bone and every single muscle within your body. Once you've decided between conscious rest or shavasana, very slightly, see if you can lift your head and readjust the back of your crown so that your neck bones can settle. And then you might do the same thing, delicately lifting the shoulders, just letting the shoulder blades and the space between them settle into the earth. That lets the bones be heavy. And then again, very slight, very minimal movement here, not to disturb the energetics of the body, but to bring the physical body into alignment as best as we can. So the subtle energy settles. Lift your hips, lift your buttocks. Just make a slight adjustment here. So the flesh of your buttocks is supporting your hip bones. You don't have to worry about that if the feet are on the ground. And then trust in the wisdom of your body, especially if you are an avid yoga practitioner, especially if you practice with me quite often. Just trust now that if there's any micro movement or adjustment that's needing to happen, maybe it's, 1 foot inching forward, just trust that the alignment of your body is guiding you. And let the adjustments happen naturally. So bones are heavy. Let the bones now be heavy into the earth. Right? See if you can give up control over how you're breathing. That's a challenge in itself because the inhalation actually moves us away from the earth. See if you can let your bones be heavy, even if you're inhaling, and feel yourself almost pushing your body into the earth. When you do that, you're actually using the force of gravity to create spaciousness within your physical organs and body. So push your bones heavily into the earth on your inhalation, and then notice the spaciousness that happens laterally. Right? That means that the lungs and the ribs and the hips get to press out a little bit wider. We want that to happen. Why do we want that to happen? Well, we've just spent an entire hour constricting everything in and wrapping one side around the other side. Take that a few more times. Let that be your focal point, and then draw your awareness to your heart. As you inhale, just listen for the sound sat. Visualize pure light as you inhale, right in the center of your heart. As you exhale, I want you to feel and visualize that light expanding to all of the cells in your body. It's almost as if a love bomb explosion is happening. Sat on the inhalation, yum on the exhalation. Sat, yum, sat, Feel your entire body now covered in light. And on your next inhalation, let the arms float overhead. Feel that light move into the fingertips, down into the toes. And the exhalation, draw everything into the midline of the body. Roll over to the right side. Tuck yourself in. Let your head be heavy. Let it be the last part of your body to roll up. And come to any comfortable seat. We'll bring the right ear over to the right side shoulder. See if you can keep the eyes closed or maintain a soft, intimate gaze. Tilt the chin diagonally down and away from you, stimulating the vagus nerve. Left ear to the left side shoulder. Right side shoulder's heavy. Tilt your chin diagonally down and away from you. Let your head float back on top of your shoulders, and we'll take 6 rounds of alternate nostril breathing just to bring everything into balance. You'll take your right hand, index finger, and thumb to touch. Place it, left hand, index finger, and thumb to touch on your left knee. Right hand, index, and middle point down. We'll take Vishnu Mudra. Close and block your left nostril with ring finger. Inhale through the right nostril. Close and block. Gentle retention here. Exhale through the left. Inhaling through the left. Close and block. Gentle retention. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close and block. Gentle retention. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Close and block. Exhale through the right. Take one more round each side, each set on your own. Next time you exhale through the right side nostril, let your right hand float to the top of your right knee. Just pause for a moment. Let your body receive and feel the balance, right and left, up and down. And bring your palms to your heart center. A symbol of union, a symbol of duality that's yoked in balance. So bowing down and surrendering the intellect of what we think we know to the balance of the heart. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you feel restored, balanced, and at the same time expanded. Hari Om Tat Sat. Have a super wonderful weekend. See you next week. Namaste.